uniting us all from far and near. With every broadcast, we spread the cheer.
We are Ham Radio. The stars are aligning because I was actually able to plug my prolific programming cable into my Windows 11 machine, and it actually worked. Okay, so here is the programming software. I read it, and this is the first thing that I got. And it uses Chirp, by the way. Okay, so I did a little more poking around, and I found the actual software from BTech for the BF-F8HP Pro. So let's see what happens if I can program it still. Port COM7, we're going to take that. And we'll read it. Start. Oh my God, it's going to read it. Holy smokes, y'all. Operation completed. Cool. Okay, and we've got the 3 frequencies that came with it. So, program settings, port, default, scan, add behavior, custom sorting tools, frequency calculator, upload, startup, picture to radio, and we're not going to change that. Voice pack editor. It does come with another voice pack, so I guess if we don't like mild Barry White, we can change it. There's a place for firmware updates. We'll add a custom channel so we can see if the channel that we add. Give it a name for this one. Oh, there it was. That's my home node, and this is for test. Let's look at the VFO mode. Lockout. I'm looking for an address book or IDs. Radio function. There it is. But it's under DTMF. But they're contacts. That's what I was looking for. So there's not a 100 in here, but there is a 101. Successfully saved. Let's write it to the radio. And it reboots after being programmed. Okay, so this is the same code as this one. And this is this one's location. I don't think they're the same format. It's not sending it across to that one. Same menu structure, same principle, but the data that they're sending to each other sounds different. They're not the same. So, hey, it was worth a shot. So we know we can program it. I'll put the programming software for this radio down into the comments, and I'll probably have a link where you can download it from too, but it came right from BTech's website, so it's liable to be there a good long time. This is an interesting little radio. Let's see if we can turn on FM receive, FM broadcast receive. That'll get you demonetized. When you want a commercial, you can't get one. This is a radio station just to my north, about 15 miles. It's a low power FM broadcast channel there in Okmulgee, our county seat. It mainly covers Okmulgee, but it'll cover Henrietta during the day, but at nighttime all the trash comes in and it doesn't go as far. But it's not bad, but it's receiving it really well. I just can't let you hear it because they're playing music and I'll get demonetized. So let's go back here for a second. Remember when I pressed and held this, we got a timer. Oh, the home button started the timer. You never know when you're going to need a stopwatch with a walkie-talkie. I'm just saying. Start, stop, push and hold. Does not reset it. I guess you just got to make it go away, bring it back, and you reset. Hit the home button, and you are timing things. Time for timer. You know, all in all, this is a nifty little radio. It does do 1.25 meters. That's my repeater up in Preston. Let's just boost the power up on this sucker and see if it works. Yes. So. We can't hear it from here. But that's all right. We know it works. Okay, so we got VHF, UHF, 1.25 meters, which I don't have one of those handy. Not very many of those in this area yet. This thing feels like a hefty piece of walkie-talkie. Let's see if it does GMRS. Would you look at that business? Sure enough does. That is my GMRS hub node. It does GMRS too. Let's do some power tests. Okay, folks, we're back, and we're going to do some power tests on this new Baofeng, and I've got it on the calling channel on low power. So let's see what the magic ball says. 9.8 watts at low power. Let's see if the frequency's on point. It is. Transmit power is at high. Okay, so that was high power then, apparently. So let's go. Okay, it's on medium. 2-meter calling channel, medium power. Frequency's on point. Looks to be about 4 watts. Not bad. Not bad at all. Low power. 2-meter calling channel. 1.9 watts. About what you expect, 2 watts. Very cool. Very, very cool. So let's go to 225, or the 221.25 meters, and the calling channel for it. This is low power, I believe. I'll have to check it. Let's check it first, because when you change channels, you just don't know what you're getting until you get it. Yep, that was low power, 5 watts. 5.1 watts at low power. The frequency's on point, 223.5. So let's go to medium power. Once again, 5.2 watts. Frequency is on point, 223.5. So let's go to high power. Yep, high power. Okay. Are you ready for this? 5.77 watts at low power. Frequency's on point, or at high power rather. 5.6 watts. Frequency's on point. Apparently, the power settings don't apply to the 1.25 meter band, but you're getting 5 watts regardless. So let's move over to 70 centimeter and verify what power setting we're on. We should be on high, and we are. 70 centimeter calling channel at high power. 8.37 watts. 446.001. I mean, it's within the tolerance levels of the frequency. I mean, it's just like barely off. I mean, so low you don't even consider it. So let's go to medium power. 70 centimeter calling frequency. 4.6 watts. Frequency's on point. Low power. 70 centimeter calling channel. 2.7 watts. And the frequency is on point. This is a decent little radio. The power levels, I mean, even for 220, that's a constant 5 on all 3 settings, but still it's 5 watts. So you don't see that much unless it's like one of the big 3 radios. So there you have it, the power levels for the Baofeng BF-F8HP Pro. And we'll see if anything happens. I could have sworn this thing keyed up twice on its own. I made sure Vox was turned off. Aha. It's the PTT button is very touchy. That's what it was. I'm barely touching it. Okay. Well, that explains that mystery. So, some of the features of the Baofeng BF-F8HP Pro offered by VTech. It has 10 channel banks. You can do 100 channels per bank for a total of 1,000 channels. Banks could also be known as zones. Some people call them banks, some people call them zones. The battery is a 2500 milliamp hour battery, so the power levels are indicated as such as 1 watt, 3 watt, and 8 watt. 1 watt low power, 3 watt medium power, 8 watt high power. Pretty close to what we got, but in parentheses they have on the 2.5 meter band 5 watts, and that's exactly what we got. It receives FM and aviation bands. It transmits and receives VHF 1.25 meters and UHF amateur bands, so 2 meters, 1.25 meters, and 70 centimeters. The audio output power is 0.75 watts at 16 ohms. Not a big battery, but big enough for a handy talkie. The IP rating is IP54. A rating that indicates a device is protected against limited dust ingress and can withstand water splashes from any direction, ensuring durability in everyday outdoor conditions. Operating temperature is from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The radio weighs 9.2 ounces with the lithium-ion battery. You've seen my other Baofeng videos on the two radios that had the GPS feature, and they shared their location with one another. This radio does not do that with those radios. But I would bet a dime to a donut hole that if I had another one of these, it would share its location with it, because they use a different format of data transfer. It's a different codec, if you were, for lack of a better word, different format. It just doesn't sound the same. It transfers its data in a different mode, per se. Anyway, it seems like a really decent radio. To activate the NOAA weather scan, you want to press and hold the 0 key for 3 seconds, and we should have an icon show up. Press and hold the pound key for 3 seconds. And that will start the scanning. Press this key and hold it for 3 seconds to stop the scan. Hit the up button, it goes back around. To exit weather radio broadcast mode, press the return key or the PTT. And that PTT is so feather light. All right, let's move on to the next topic. And I think I've got all these questions answered about the menu names, I think. Of course, we all know what zone is and scan, but radio setting has step, which is your channel stepping, and your squelch is the squelch of your radio. Power save is battery power saver. The Vox switch just turns the Vox on or off. You can set your Vox level or the delay of the Vox. Timeout timer, and this is timeout alarm. So if you've hit your timeout timer time limit, it will beep and say, hey, shut up now, and start over again. Voice prompts is the voice menu that you're hearing in the video. Roger tone is Roger beep. Key beep is the keyboard beep, which I turned off. Backlight is your backlight of the display. Your power on display, you have choices of picture, your battery voltage, or the station ID. We leave it at picture. Dual watch is basically your dual receive, but you're not going to hear them both at the exact same time if they're transmitting at the same time or you're receiving them at the same time. You're not going to hear them both. You'll just hear the first one. But most generally, when you're monitoring two VFOs or two memory channels at once, one of them will talk before the other. Auto lock is a time limit that you can set to automatically lock your keypad. Alarm mode is the alarm mode. It is on-site sound only. If you choose transmit sound, it will transmit the alarm over the air on whatever frequency you're on, or a code or DTMF code if you want. The alarm tone, we'll turn it on. See if we can turn it on here in a minute. The radio ID is 100. I think you can. I haven't been able to find it in the software, but I'm sure. Oh yeah, I did too. I did find it in the software, so you can set it in there. You can display an automatic number identification, and it should be is if you receive one from another radio, it will display it on the screen. DTMF side tone. I'm still not exactly sure what that side tone is unless it's transmitting it as a PTT ID. But there is the PTT ID. You can set it for off, beginning of transmission, end of transmission, or both. PTT code delay, and that's a delay for it to start going out or between digits. Tone burst, that's for certain repeaters. A lot of these are overseas that take that special admit tone burst. Tail squelch is trying to mask the squelch of a transmission from like a repeater. Menu exit time, so if you set this for a low number, if you set idle on a menu item, it will take you back to the main screen. Side key function, that's this key here. Station ID, which is this one, and it's only setting it has in there is default, so I'm not sure the purpose. DTMF typing just gives you the ability to send and receive DTMF, or to send DTMF. Power on time, 3, 5, or 10. I am not sure what that does yet. Does it take 3 seconds to power on? Does it take 10 seconds to power on? I'm not sure. And then reset is to reset only the VFO or reset the entire radio, and then you're back to step 1. So, of course, scan is scan. GPS is to turn on the GPS, set your time zone, your speed units for miles per hour, kilometers per hour, and the GPS mode. GPS is America, BDS is overseas, and you could do both. and you can turn the GPS receiver on or off. Program channel is where you actually program your frequency in. You can put in the frequency there, transmit power, bandwidth, which is wide or narrow, your receive and transmit CTCSS or DCS tones, encryption if you want to. It's illegal in ham radio in America, so don't do it. Signaling for the DTMF or speaker mute, busy channel lockout, offset for your repeater, the direction of your repeater, channel memory that you want to put it in, and delete a channel memory if you want to. And this is your radio info to tell you about what versions firmware you have in there. And there you have it. So there you have it, folks. The Baofeng BF-F8HP Pro. It's not a bad little radio. You can pick it up over at BTech. It feels like a radio. It's hefty. It's got good sound, transmit and receive. It's intuitive. I don't have an airport that's busy enough or close enough to me that I can sit here and record some aviation audio. The broadcast FM receive is excellent, as well as the NOAA weather radio receive. It sounds just fine. Now, inside my shack, it's not great, but outside it did wonderfully. So, nice big colorful display. My biggest beef here is the channel labels could be in bigger fonts. TalkPod fixed that in their latest edition. Looks magnificent. Now the frequency, the VFO display is nice and large, so if you want to leave it on frequency, that's up to you. I can remember those sometimes, but when I travel, I'm not going to remember who's who. I have to have a channel label. Soak in all the color screen goodness. It's a good looking radio. Feels really good. There's the C-type charging. And with its accessories, it's worth it. So let's take a look and see how much it is worth. Okay, I hope you can see this all right. This is the Baofeng BF-F8HP Pro 8 watt that I just reviewed for you. On BTech's website, it goes for $69.89. And then there is the Amazon equivalent, which is the exact same picture, exact same setup, exact same radio, $69.89. So yeah, Baofeng Tech, it is BTech, and they offering it on their website and on Amazon for the same price. I'll be adding an affiliate link on Amazon to this radio. Affiliate links don't cost you anymore, and I get a little bit of extra on the side, and it helps me move the channel forward with funding. It's not a lot, but it's enough to help things out. It helps the old aching back, as it were. The BTech Baofeng BF-F8HP Pro with GPS. Judge for yourself, but you can pick it up over at Amazon or on BTech's website. Folks, thanks for watching. We appreciate everything you do. Consider becoming a channel member. It helps advance this channel along and help us grow to serve you better. Hey everybody, this is Freddie Mac, your ham radio crusader, saying 73s, wishing all the good signals to be yours, and ham on, y'all.